In today's video, we'll talk about the S word, part 3. S stands for strategy or strategic, and we'll focus on the second blog post that the CSO at HYLN wrote before she joined. It's found on Medium, written in December 19th of 2020, and it's entitled "The Forest and the Trees in Decision-Making: How to Avoid Getting Bogged Down in the Details That Don't Matter and Focus on the Ones That Do." And as a timeline, she joined HYLN in March of 2022. A fancy generator was purchased by the company near the end of August of 2022, about 5 months later. And she makes an appearance at the Investor Day conference on June of 2023. Her blog post says, "In the business world, you also most often have a team relying on you to help manage their scope and bandwidth across many commitments. Because time is almost always scarce, you need to make sure you're spending your time where it will have the most impact on the project's success." Which project? She's talking about the generator, and she says, "I want to talk about the stationary market." It's kind of obvious when hindsight is 2020. She joins, they buy a generator, and she makes an appearance. She's going to talk about the generator, and she ends up doing it. Now, I'm kind of focusing on her because there are two people, which I've mentioned before, that have worked at Meritor, and that is Jay. He was the CEO at Meritor, and currently he's the chairman at HYLN. Sherry, she was the VP and CSO at Meritor in the past, and now she's the CSO at HYLN. And Cummins acquired Meritor. They made an announcement in February of 2022, and the deal was closed in August of 2022. Now, I'm not saying that Cummins will acquire HYLN, because that would be speculation, but there's connections happening here, and this is where I have to kind of go to the rest stop that I stopped at, because I noticed another connection. And it's at a rest stop heading westbound on I-4. I think it's in Polk County, but those are the GPS coordinates. And I go and use the facilities, and I get back in my car, and I can't help but notice this green thing staring back at me, but it's not the green thing, the green box there, that catches my attention. It's the logo on the right side of it. That logo looks very similar to the Cummins logo. And it's great being like an internet armchair quarterback, because you can just research from the comfort of your own home. But that seems to be this type of generator, which is a Cummins power generation. Generator sets are fully integrated power generation systems providing optimum performance, reliability, and versatility for stationary standby applications. This runs off of natural gas or propane, and there's also a version with natural gas. And there's minor differences in it. Like these middle set of door handles, they aren't present on the picture, and also this kind of back plate is also different. But that logo is present on the same position, and it's also green in color. And it has the Cummins logo on it. And here she is, she's talking about stationary generators. And Cummins also makes stationary generators. The interesting thing is that during this presentation, at no time did she say the word Cummins. And she doesn't even use the word OEMs. That changes to operators. It's a different terminology that she uses. It's like she's trying to break away from the trucking space and, oh yeah, we have trucks we can put this into as well. Her blog post continues to focus on the impact. Spend your time where it will have the most impact on the project's success. What are the 20% of inputs that make 80% of the difference? Focus on the pieces that will move the needle, draw a line, and prioritize those areas of study that make the biggest difference. And it seems like strategy, and this is a rabbit hole you can go to on YouTube, is strategy is a series of decisions that you could make. And there's people that like to try various inputs, like looking at the competition, looking at the environment, what inputs they have control over, and playing around with different ideas. If we do this, we can do this, this, and that. The competition could react in a certain way, and if that happens, we can do A, B, and C. Or if the environment changes, we can do D, E, and F. And I know right now, like, a lot of drama is focused on the ERX, and they have a team of strategic advisors now trying to figure out what's going on. So you have a CSO that works at HYLN focusing on this generator, and then now you have a team of strategic advisors looking at the powertrain business. So you have strategic advisors everywhere. She goes on saying there's a litmus test. The prerequisite is define what success is in business. This is usually economic, a measure of return on investment. Litmus test. What changes the answer? I recommend an impact-based litmus test. For life's many strategic decisions, the metric may have an economic element and often also has a more qualitative but equally critical experiential element. Talk with experts, do market research or surveys, analyze data, and triangulate different data sources until you have a solid case. Build the logic tree and gather evidence to make the case on the right value really compelling. Now, at Investor Day, she tells us that this generator has a very low electricity cost for the operator, low maintenance, and low emissions. And emissions is one of those competitive dimensions that Nikola Motors mentioned. And also for a qualitative element, she also mentions that there's low noise. So like two of the things I see that definitely have an economic impact is electricity costs and maintenance. That would be attractive to not OEMs. She's using the term operators. Now there's a similarity on one of the slides that she shows. At the bottom of it, she has a 200 kilowatt unit. And the generator that I saw, which is a standby generator at the rest stop, it is rated for 125 to 200 kilowatts of power. It just seems odd. It's like you have all these Meritor and Cummins pieces showing up. This is another little small piece, although she never brings it up. She never mentions it. Of course she's not. She's thinking strategically because the competition's also looking at it and trying to figure out what the other competition is going to do and how they're going to get ahead. Another item that she brings up are distractors. This may be an effort to discredit an answer they don't like or to delay an initiative that they would rather not do. Separate the fact base from the answer. You need to align on the level of precision and necessary assumptions before they impact the answer. You can do this in layers as you go. Create basic sensitivity analysis to have on hand for the stakeholder discussion. This tool is helpful as you are evaluating the answer, but also can be extremely helpful in managing the crowd. So she's reporting to someone higher up to make the case for how to approach things with this generator. And if someone doesn't agree or try just to discredit a certain angle, she's coming prepared with information on how to handle it. And my thoughts on this whole part 3 is she's trying a different approach to win a customer. And one of those customers is Cummins. What she's also doing is she's removing one of the risk elements, and that's a weak freight market, which is causing low customer interest in HYLN with the powertrain. With the generator, that no longer applies because you don't have to put this thing into a truck. You can just have it sitting there. And she's also shifting away from OEMs to operators. Again, distancing things away from powertrains and trucks. We came for the powertrains, and I guess we'll stick around for the car now. That's it for this video, and of course, thanks for watching.